Everyone knows summer means outside barbecues, and nothing's better on the barbecue than summer sweet corn. Hi, I'm Bob Keller, inviting you to the sweetest summer corn there is at my new store, Bob's Cornhole. Every morning I get up bright and early and make sure my cornhole is ready for you. So when you come into Bob's Cornhole, you'll see why getting into my cornhole is easy, but leaving the cornhole is hard. You'll see things in my cornhole you may never have seen before. And everything in Bob's Cornhole is fresh as can be. And I'm proud to announce I'm expanding my cornhole. But the quality of Bob's Cornhole will always be high. So when you want something special for your barbecue, come on into Bob's Cornhole, where we stretch ourselves to make you happy.
Bob's Cornhole, because you haven't seen a cornhole until you've seen Bob's Cornhole.
All right, welcome back to the Ranting Gringo. Make sure you get down there to Bob's. I'm sure there's some cornhole action going on down in the Parque Forestal section of Santiago tonight, that's for sure. Anyway, tonight I want to speak about something a little taboo. What original thing, you know? Something that might be a little off color, a little funny. Sometimes people don't like to talk about it, but I think it's funny. The Café con Piernas. That's basically... I came up, the actual translation is kind of funky. It says coffee with legs. But if you tell that to somebody from an English-speaking country, it sounds terrible. It sounds like you're selling coffee with animal legs in it. And does anybody want coffee with animal legs in it?
No.
Absolutely not. So I think the better translation for that is something I invented, something that I call the exotic coffee shop. That sounds a little more specific and to the point. And basically, it was funny because I took the name Café con Piernas and remember the restaurant, how do you say, the Fridays, TGI Fridays? People were asking me, what's that place that was here for a few years ago? It was Hooters. Remember Hooters? Hooters is really popular up in the States, particularly in Florida. I don't know why. Some guys like it. I don't like to see a bunch of anorexic blonde girls walking around in tight shorts. I mean, it's not really my thing. I like a little more meat on the bones, but that's just me. Anyway, so people are asking me, what is Hooters like? And I said, well, it's kind of a combination between a TGI Fridays and a Café con Piernas. So I think that was the best translation for that. Anyway, so Café con Piernas, or the exotic coffee shop, which is better sounding. What is it? What is it all about? Some of you know what it's about. And there's like different classes of that. There's different styles. There's like the soft porn Café con Piernas. And there's the more, how do you say, dirtier Hustler magazine version of the Café con Piernas. So let's talk about both. First, the ones that you see downtown on, I don't know, Almada Street and Huérfanos and those places. Those places, you actually see women in there. I mean, there's the bright lights, and there's like, a lot of times you see, women that are over like, they're on Medicare in there. So it's sometimes, they're okay, sometimes not, But most people go in just for the coffee. I mean, it's almost like a cultural thing, They're not even looking at the girl, unless they're going to one of those real dirty ones. And we'll get to that one in a second. So they have these on the streets in Santiago Center. They don't have them in the nicer areas, obviously, because I don't think... the mayor of Providencia or Las Condes, they're not going to put up with, anything. If you think they're going to have one opened up in Providencia near Suecia, no, hell no. So basically, these are mostly downtown, and for the high rolling guys, that are, just want some really bad coffee, by the way. But one time I went in there, and I was like, this was 1997, more or less. And I went to one for the first time. And I went to one, and it was hot. It was really hot. And be careful when you say hot, by the way. Don't translate it caliente, because Just doesn't go over well. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, so I go in there and I ask for something that's very typical in Florida, an iced tea. And I asked for an iced tea to these ladies, and they looked at me and they were looking at me like, Chris Rock in Rush Hour 1. They're like,
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
It was pathetic, and I said, they actually were in the back putting ice in hot tea with sugar. It was a disaster. So it didn't really go out very well. So and I'm looking at the glass that they're bringing me with the face like,
What the fuck was that?
it's just not what I want. So the coffee's not so great. So I get in there and the girls are okay. I mean, I'm not really for that kind of. I think both people are getting exploited, the girls and the guys. The girls are getting exploited for their body. The men are getting exploited for their money, and I think it's just a bad scene. I don't really like it. But and if you're expecting great coffee, think again, because they're not. I'm sure they're using just Nescafe, cheap coffee, fast as possible, and it's not that great of coffee.
That's nasty.
It's really bad. So anyway, and don't expect models either, because they're loaded up with tramp stamps, and some of them, I actually went to one where the girl was just getting in, and she had her kid with her like with like her pimp that was out back, and her pimp was like in the back, just I don't want to say pimp. Maybe it was her boyfriend, maybe it was her husband, maybe it was her priest. I don't know. So she's. It was like in the morning, and you're drinking coffee with this scantily clad lady who's looking at you like, you pig. And, it's like not really cool. They're looking at you while their kid is like being rushed off to school, stop hitting your sister. So I didn't really like it. And the dirtier ones, I don't want to say dirty. How about what's a better word? More exotic, more in some of the galleries that they have, they're really dark, and they keep them dark because you don't know if they're women. You just know they're mammals. That's basically all you know. So I hate to sound so negative toward this, but. That's just, the way it is, in those things. And the coffee is not so great, like I said, and that's why they keep the lights low, and you thought that could conserve energy, but, I don't understand why the red touristic buses, those tourism buses, I don't know why they don't stop there on their cultural tours. So, I don't know. I don't want to speak bad about the ladies that work there, but, I mean... I actually saw one that she had like a hunchback so bad. I mean, it looked like she needed a snorkel just to wash the dishes. I mean, it was really, really bad. I didn't think it was a good scene. Anyway, that's Café con Piernas, the exotic coffee shops. Excuse me. But where do you get your coffee anyway? A lot of people in the States, by the way, I can't speak for everybody, but in the States, the three leading places where people get their coffee is Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, and Starbucks. Now, did you know Starbucks always loses in taste competitions to McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts? That's a fact. I'm talking like, of course, coffee. I'm not talking about like, the milkshakes that they're serving down at that pseudo-intellectual Starbucks place, that where people are, just writing screenplays or something for the theaters or something. It's ridiculous. I'm talking about pure black quality coffee. But the best places, the best place to get coffee in those top three, believe it or not, it's McDonald's. I know that's a shock, but that's true. I mean, they have the best, the best deals and best contracts with coffee providers. I mean, they've been doing this for years. So it's not really surprising to me that they got that, So when I first heard of Starbucks, I thought it It reminded me of that guy from Battlestar Galactica. That's showing my age. But it was primarily a place out west in the United States where, high-rolling actors and actresses would go, and then they just, became popular. So I don't like it. It's overpriced stuff in there. And do I think, like their food is good? Their overpriced salads and coffees and milkshakes, No. I don't think any of that is worth the price that they sell. But they have like a nice sofa, and it looks like you're drinking in a living room, but it's just it's not that great. I don't think it's that great. I don't know. And my last one of my last podcasts or casts or whatever the hell this is, I was talking about the Terremoto drink, and man, you drink that like more than 3 times. I mean, you're not going to poop right for a week. It's pretty strong, and that's going to be coming up soon in the 18th next month. That's going to be the Chilean patriotic celebrations. So that's going to be really fun, but I don't recommend drinking too much of that, or at least going to any of the fondas. Now, let me tell you what a fonda is. We're going to get off topic now. A fonda is supposed to be a traditional Chilean party, but now I'm realizing that's really not what it is. It's just a ghetto party playing cumbia music and charging a high cover fee. Boy, I bitch and moan about prices, don't I? That's a little too much. Anyway, you want to go to a Ramada, not a Ramada Inn. I'm talking a Ramada. That's where they have people that dress in traditional Chilean clothes and Chilean music and Chilean food and Chilean games. I mean, it's a good time. The fondas that they have in Santiago, I mean, are they real fondas? No. Absolutely not. They suck. The Jane Fonda they had out in Quinta Normal a few years back. It's stupid. So I don't recommend going to any of those. But if you can do it, get a hold of some of your friends and make a little fonda in your house and buy some, cheap clothes that are traditional Chilean clothes. Listen, I've been in Chile for like 15 years, and I dig it. I love it. I'm not a big fan of Santiago, but some parts of Santiago. But I got the biggest damn flag, Chilean flag here. All my neighbors, they think I'm crazy. I bought this big, ridiculous, you could damn near drape it over my 1994 Chevrolet Blazer and cover it completely. I mean, it's incredible. But a lot of people here in Chile, they're not enthusiastic about it. They're like, hey, do you want to go to do you want to dance Cueca with me? No, they don't. Especially the women. The women are not very enthusiastic about it, especially, in between 30 and 45. They're like, no, I did it when I was in school, blah, blah, blah. God, it's ridiculous. So I think if you can, find a girl that is enthusiastic about the Chilean patriotic celebrations, and she's wants to drink terremotos and eat choripans and everything. Yay, you got to go up to her and just grab her and say, that's just like that, because that's the way to do it. Because I really like the 18th of September. It's really cool. I like the clothes. Even the women look beautiful in their clothes. They call them chinas. I don't know why. I have no idea if that comes from China or something. Probably because most of them are made in China. I don't know. I hope not. But I think the fondas outside of Santiago, that's the way to go. And I'm trying to get some friends together to make one. Even with animals, horses and that kind of shit. That's kind of cool, You can find cheap clothes. Hey, if you're on a budget like me, you can find cheap stuff, down in the Estación Central district called Meg's. That's a pretty cool place. They got everything. They always have everything. But just watch your purse and your wallet. They tend to get a little... they rob people down there sometimes. Not violently, but, it's okay. But there's a heavy police presence, especially with the television. The televisions have been making reports about how people have been robbed down there. But, they just... pickpockets, that kind of thing. I mean, nothing with guns or knives or anything, really. But be careful. Anyway, I haven't been a victim myself, but I have seen it on TV. So anyway, the place down there, Meg's, that's just like 1 block away from the Metro Estación Central metro station. So you get off there, you got to walk kind of through a crowd of people. But once you get there, there's some good prices of like the spurs and the hats and the clothes, even decorations, which is cool, which I really like. Not food. I wouldn't buy food down there. No. But the material things you can buy. Definitely. I bought that big, ridiculous flag from Chile. Bought it for like 7 luca. A luca, by the way, is what the hell is a luca? My name is Luca. No, it's a 1,000 pesos. It's like a dollar bill, but more. Anyway, there you can find all kinds of cool stuff. Now, if you go inside the station, the train station, look out, because that's where the prices are really high. You get in there and you see the prices, and it's pretty bad.
What the fuck?
It's really, really high. I mean, so you got to be careful of that. That's where like the professional Cueca dancers get their stuff. So it's really, really heavy. So be careful of that. Anyway, the 18th of September has a lot of cool things. I like the food, steak. I guess it's not so great for vegetarians or vegans. Not good for them. I don't know what they do. What do? They just eat what? Bread with pebre? Those poor guys. I don't know. So anyway, I think it's important to, how do you say, participate in the country that you're living. I've been living here for 15 years, so I participate in the activities. I immerse myself. Did I just invent a word? What the hell is that? I immerse myself. English live. I participate in things. I don't hang around with only gringos and North Americans and Canadians. I have those friends, yes. But of course, I live here in Chile. But that's the problem with some of the people that choose to live here in Chile from other countries. They only stay within their own groups, and I don't think that's cool. I don't like that. If you want to stay in your group, stay in your own country then. I chose to live in Chile. I love Chileans. I think they're my brothers and sisters. I don't know how I hope they don't get offended when I wear my poncho and I go all out, man. I got two costumes and for the, should I call it costumes? I got 2 traditional Chilean clothings, so I might buy another one. But I hope nobody gets offended when they see me wearing, that kind of stuff, because I do it out of love, and I do it out of love for the Chilean people, and I do it out of love for the culture, because I think it's cool. July 4th in the United States, that's crapola. All that is just, a couple of hamburgers on the grill and some fireworks. I mean, I know we're supposed to, be respectful to our veterans, and hey, that I'm a veteran myself, but there's not much enthusiasm for July 4th, Independence Day in the United States. I wish we had something more like Chile does, like with traditional clothing and food and music and that kind of stuff. And I'm not talking about country music, please. Even though I have nothing against country music, I think those people are very nice. But I just wish there was something, here in Chile. It's really cool. I really like it. So I am a big proponent of participating in things. I don't like it when here in Chile there's a lot of groups that just stay within their own people, within their own groups, like out on Recoleta near Avenida Peru. It's all just Arab people. If you go down to certain parts of Estación Central, it's all Chinese people. If you go down to Plaza de Armas, it's all Peruvians and Bolivians, and they all just stay within their own groups, and I just don't think it's cool. And now we have more Haitian people in Estación Central too. And actually, I want to talk about that in another podcast, because I've had my issues with the people from Haiti. Not really with the people from Haiti. I'm going to get to that in the next cast that I'm going to do. Because I really have nothing against them personally. I really have something against the government of Chile that has permitted just this flood of immigrants that have overstayed their visa, and we're going to get to that because it's nothing against the people that come here, but I don't think Chile has the resources to do it. And if they do come, hey, participate in the Chilean culture. You chose to live here. You gotta, stay here and respect the culture. So a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people, they hear that kind of talk, and they tell me, Chris, why don't you just
Shut your bitch ass up!
That's what they tell me all the time. But hey, I'm sorry. That's my opinion. So now, look at that. 20 minutes. Been doing this. Now I can upload longer videos. Aren't you guys happy? Aren't you guys excited that I can do that and it's going to be a better program now, that it can be longer?
No.
That's what I thought. Okay. Well, anyway. Well, I'm going to have to go cut this short. I say too much. I know. I'm working on that. You do a little program and talk for like 15 to 20 minutes and see how you sound. All right. See you later. Bye-bye. Take care.